with The Real Cinemas Blackpool and Ballincollig and online at therealpicture.com.
In a world where there's a million movie podcasts, here comes another one from themoviebit.com. This is the podcast.
Christ. Who taught you that technique? A friggin' cheese grater?
Anything gets more than 3 blocks out, you turn it back or you turn it to ash. So you listen to me and you listen well.
Hey everybody, how we doing? Welcome to the podcast from themoviebit.com. My name is Victor Barry. Over there to my right, although you can't see it, is Tom White.
Hello everyone.
Hello Tom. So we're back. Last week we kind of returned to give a reaction to the not the podcast, but the Oscars. Thank you for downloading the episode, by the way. Now though, the podcast is back to normality.
No more Skype.
No more Skype, because Skype was just an absolute and utter, can I say clusterfuck?
Yes, let's go with clusterfuck. Let's call it the Oscars. 2017 Oscars.
Yeah, because it was just like the ending of the Oscars. We didn't know where. Anyway, so this is the normal podcast. We are back to normal. Finally, it's taken forever.
As close to normal as we can.
It's taken forever. If you didn't know, I did some serious damage to my leg. Couldn't get up the stairs. Couldn't use the studio here. And it was just, that was it. So we didn't do a podcast then. We just have no more excuses.
Yeah. I was completely fine.
Tom's like, thank God I don't have to see him anymore. Maybe he'll die. So yeah.
From the foot.
From the foot, yeah. I felt like it was dying. So, we're back, people. We're back to normal. So please subscribe again if you unsubscribed and happen to just download this per chance. We're back to normal. Not that you could call this podcast normal.
No.
Far from fucking normal!
Oh, Brian Blessed's back, isn't he?
Anyway, I've just blown the levels right out the window there, but sure, whatever. Let's get this dog and pony show back on the road. We like to give you gifts from time to time. We like to bestow information upon you, and we like to teach you things about the movies that you never know, and we call this Tom's Trivia 3.
Tom's Trivia Tree.
All right, let's start off with some Nazis, shall we?
Okay.
Yeah. So in the book burning scene in Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade, most of the uniforms were actually authentic World War II Nazi uniforms and not costumes.
Wow.
This was because a cache of old uniforms was found in Germany, and they were obtained by costume designer Anthony Powell to be used in the film. You can just imagine Spielberg going, "Get me those fucking uniforms."
Yeah, it was probably like that as well. Holy hell.
Yeah.
Wow.
What they
I wonder if Megan Fox was born back then, what she would have had to say about that.
Anyway.
Just for context, there was a big kind of a bust-up between Michael Bay and Megan Fox. She compared him to a Nazi or something like that.
It was on Transformers 2, wasn't it?
Yeah. And Spielberg kind of pulled Mikey aside and said, "Get rid of her." And that was this. And we saw no more from Megan Fox.
Yeah.
For quite. Is she not in like Sharknado Octopus Legs or something? Is she not in some bizarre B movie these days? Oh, she was back in the Turtles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bizarre B movie, there we go.
Oh, well, yeah. Actually, those Turtle movies are pretty decent.
Yeah, no,
To be fair.
Yeah, no, I actually do love those two Turtle movies. So, let's move on.
Are you good? Is the headphones good?
Yeah, the headphones are not my friend today.
What about now, Tom?
There we go.
Let me push it in.
No,
Is it still in?
Gone.
Let me pull it back out. Let me put it back in, Tom.
There, we're bad again. We're good.
We're good?
We're good.
Okay.
We're bad.
We're good. What about now, Tom? No? Okay. I'm just going to push it in harder, Tom.
This is riveting podcast material for people.
People are like, this is why we came back. Anyway, go on.
Okay. So, Matrix.
Yes.
And there was a lot of exploratory dialogue in The Matrix. I think we all remember. And apparently Warner Brothers insisted on all that exposition because they described the screenplay as the script that nobody understands.
I don't think a lot of people understood the movie because I think in the movie itself for The Matrix, you got to a point where you're like, this is amazing, and you're like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, it was just were just drunk on the visuals, and we didn't care about the story really.
And by the time you got to the second and the third movie,
Yeah.
you had no idea.
No, Who thought that sequence with the architect at the end of Revolutions was a good idea?
Even though the action set pieces in the first Matrix are incredible, they still really are.
They
Even
stand up
day.
to this day.
Yeah,
like,
they're insane.
that subway fight is amazing.
Yep. Mr. Anderson.
But it is the classic problem with the Wachowskis. They're great when it comes to visuals, not so good when it comes to story.
I think their ideas are amazing.
Yeah.
I think they have a problem kind of
Conveying them
to idiots, basically. Or their perception of who would watch the movie is far different to... Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
But we love the Wachowskis. I love their stuff.
Yeah, same here. I even like Sense8 on Netflix.
There you go.
Yeah. So
There's two of you there now.
yeah, two of us love that show. So finally, 20th Century Fox. And they released the first trailer for Star Wars Episode 1 with strict instructions that it not be shown before a certain date. A Canadian movie theatre accidentally showed it a day early, and they lost the rights to show the movie.
Imagine getting that phone call. One of the most anticipated movies of all time at the time.
Yeah.
And you go,
Hey, this is Mr. You're not going to show that fucking movie, you fucks.
Joe Pesci was working for Fox.
kind of Joe Pesci mixed with Marlon Brando. Ever so slightly.
Because I remember back in the day, people would buy tickets for a movie that the trailer was being shown on, and then just leave after the trailer was shown. That's how crazy people were for Episode 1.
I can see you knock that bottle of water from here. I can see you're going to do it.
No.
Am I right?
No, I'm nowhere near the bottle of water.
For God's sake. We've one bottle of water between us for 5 days. Okay, let's move on to movie reviews. This is the official podcast from the moviebit.com. It's just the podcast from the moviebit.com.
Yeah.
With thanks to our sponsors, the Real Picture Cinemas of Blackpool and Ballincollig. And we'll start with a movie that I don't think anybody wanted. We're not sure how it got made. We're not sure how somebody convinced people to part with their hard-earned cash to invest in this movie. And there has been a marketing campaign that kind of sums it up, really. And the marketing campaign has been more or less non-existent.
Yeah, one trailer I've seen for this.
Fist Fight.
Yeah, Fist Fight. So if you don't know the story of Fist Fight, it stars Charlie Day and Ice Cube as two teachers in high school who, through convoluted events, one ends up getting fired and challenges the other to a fight after school.
Okay.
That's-
Prime Hollywood bottom of the barrel scraping here, I think.
Yeah, that's like the highest of high concepts, basically. And look, I will say Fist Fart.
Fuck it, Tom, that's the sequel.
That's a great way
Somebody
to
in Hollywood's
describe
going, hang on. They give us an idea. Fist Fart. Sounds like a porno movie now that I think about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Fist Fart. It's like when you pull out your fist.
I think I gave away my feelings on this movie.
Wow.
Yeah. Look, it does.
Oh my God.
It does start off well enough. Charlie Day plays the mild-mannered Mr. Campbell. Ice Cube, of course, plays the
Just the stereotypical angry man.
Yes, exactly. That's Ice Cube's bread and butter these days, and they're nice foil for each other. They play off each other really well. But then, once the setup is out of the way in like the first 5-10 minutes, the story screeches to a halt, and we're just going through the motions. Every crude trope and cliche is thrown at the wall to get a laugh out of the audience, and the big problem here is just not that funny. It's really mean in places, and kind of not the good type of mean. Like the director here is Richie Keane, who directed a bulk of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like some of the episodes fans love, like Mac Day and the Maureen Ponderosa Wedding Massacre, and he was able to find a sweet spot there between mean and funny, but not here. And it just wheels out the tired. Oh.
Oh.
No. First it was the headphones, now it's the mic. There we go. It just tires out, wheels out, tired joke after tired joke. And for every one that lands, you get 5 that just slap against the wall unfunnily. Like, the bulk of the narrative is just Campbell's attempts to weasel out of fighting Strickland, and just there isn't enough there to make the story interesting. There's the subplot involving the school staff, and the outcome can be seen from the opening frame, and the way it intersects with the main plot is just downright contrived and insulting to the audience. Like, Charlie Day can only play one character, the crazy misfit. He does it very well. I will say that. But he starts off as this mild-mannered nerd, and then he just transforms into classic Charlie Day, and it comes out of nowhere, and it doesn't ring true. And Ice Cube is just angry Ice Cube again, and bar 21 Jump Street, he's not funny. His persona isn't funny, and like, there's a really good comedic supporting cast. You got Tracy Morgan, you got Julian Bell, you got Camille Nanjiani, and they're just absolutely wasted, as is Christina Hendricks, who should really fire her agent, because this is the second movie in 3 months, the other one being Bad Santa 2, where you could take her out of the movie and it would make no difference to it. Look, some serious comedy talents at its disposal. Fistfight just wastes everything with a lazy plot and painfully unfunny humor. I'm giving this 2 stars.
2?
Yeah, I'm feeling generous today.
All right, fair enough. Now, moving on, yet again, we have another comic book movie. There is about another 493 of them to go this year. But
Feels like it.
Yeah, here is one of the best. Here is not only one of the best comic book movies of all time, this is one of the best movies of the year. Without a shadow of a doubt. We are talking about Logan. The swan song for Hugh Jackman. The final Wolverine appearance, by all accounts.
After 17 years.
We were only talking about this on the way down here. 17 years, which is one of the longest kind of on-screen portrayals of a character in movie history.
Yeah, pretty
much. Without a doubt.
Actors being changed, but one actor playing the same character.
And I guess, look, the selection of Wolverine movies that Hollywood have turned out over the years have been more miss than hit, I think.
But you're being generous.
Yeah. They never kind of really captured the tone of the character.
No.
This violent, brooding maniac.
The Wolverine came close.
Yeah, and it was only in 2013's James Mangold's The Wolverine, that he finally kind of got his claws into the character in one sense.
All the puns intended.
Yes. And yeah, you know what? The other X-Men movies, they kind of... Yeah. They had, you know, like the Days of Future Past and stuff, they had a good crack off the character. But he was second fiddle always because it was Magneto and it was Xavier. So they were the core. But you kind of got little glimpses of, fuck, wouldn't that be really cool if that was a full Wolverine movie?
Yeah, I think X-Men 2 was the closest at the time we got to a full Wolverine movie.
Yeah, and I mean, if you go back and you look at Hugh Jackman and the character, he's an actor that has grown into this character.
Yeah.
Probably in the Wolverine, he kind of really had grown into the character, and now he is the character. The earlier Singer X-Men movies and stuff, he did not really look like Wolverine. He just, compared to now.
Yeah.
You know?
He was too... He was too chiseled.
Yeah, that's one word.
Yeah.
But look, this is all you really need to hear about Logan, okay? Wolverine fans, this is the movie you have waited for your entire life. Seriously, if you're a Wolverine fan, this is the Wolverine movie. It is the only Wolverine movie. Since you climbed out of your mama's womb, this is the movie you have been waiting for. This is what you get when you give a director complete freedom to do whatever the fuck they want. And James Mangold has done whatever the fuck he wanted with the character, and he's brought Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman along with the ride, and you know what? They knock this one out of the park. Not only did it knock it out of the park, he's got a career best performance from Patrick Stewart. He's got a career best performance from Hugh Jackman.
What?
Yeah. Patrick Stewart is fucking incredible. Give me another performance from Patrick Stewart that you think would be really good. I know I'm putting you on the spot. And don't say Star Trek Next Generation, please.
I was going to say First Contact.
He blows that out of the water. Blows it out of the water. Genuinely, people when they hear Patrick Stewart, they go, oh, fucking Star Trek.
Yeah.
He's a very well-rounded actor. But this is the best performance he's ever given. And if you want to see Patrick Stewart say the word fuck a lot, then this is the movie for you. If you want to see and hear Hugh Jackman
Put that on the poster.
Yeah. If you want to hear Jackman say fuck a lot, this is the movie for you. From the opening scene here, the tone, the mood, they're set. Like, this is an intense, brooding, gritty, F-bomb laden, gory swan song for Wolverine. And I think with the exception of Deadpool before it, in my book, never before has a movie captured the absolute laser focused tone of a character as well as this. It is truly epic. You can look at the other Marvel movies, you go, oh well, Iron Man. No, this is really captured the tone of the character. In a way I think that most comic book fans may not be used to, in one sense.
Yeah, I kind of like Wolverine was always kind of a hair trigger violent character, but they couldn't show us in the comic books.
Yeah.
So this is an uncompromising look at the character.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing. If you're going to show the comic book movie, you'll bring me kids along with me. Or maybe you're listening somewhere else. I'm going to bring the little ones along. It's not a movie for kids. Because within minutes, heads are rolling, claws are going through chins and coming out the tops of heads. This is a gory ass movie. There will be times when you'll be like, "Oh my God, Jesus Christ!"
Say fuck again, Patrick Stewart, please.
Go back to him saying fuck. But the story this time, it's set in the not so distant future. You have autonomous trucks driving on the road. So you have driverless trucks that don't have the truck cab. They look very weird. And it's only kind of all this in the future that you kind of, it kind of sinks in a little bit.
Is that the kind of only real future thing they have?
Predominantly, yeah.
I like that.
I mean, it's when we say it's the future, we're probably talking 5 years.
Yeah, okay.
10 years. It's not like flying fucking cars and stuff.
They're not going overboard.
No, it's very subtle. But so the story is Logan is caring for nailing Professor X in a hideout in the Mexican border. But there's a young mutant turns up, and a fresh mutant hasn't been born in 25 years. Okay, so this one turns up, and she's been pursued by a bunch of people who, they're not the kind of people who, hey guys, let's go for, come on over to my house for dinner.
That'd make for a boring movie.
Yeah. These are nasty ass guys.
I want to see that cut though. Wolverine having dinner with the bad guys.
So I mean, look, plot wise, this is nothing spectacular. In one sense, it's nothing complicated, but it is very, very solid, especially in the delivery. Now, if I do have to nitpick, there's a few pacing issues which make the movie seem slightly longer than it actually is. I know I've seen an interview with James Mangold where he said that the original cut was like 2 hours 20.
Yeah.
This
is in 2 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, this is just a little shy of that. They could probably shave about 5 or 10 more minutes off of it, just to tighten up the pacing, because there are a couple of scenes you're like, come on, it's just dragging ever so slightly. Look, Jackman gives it all. As I said at the top of this review, he has grown into this character completely now. Patrick Stewart is amazing, and like they've been playing these characters for quite some time. But this is their best outing. This is genuinely their best outing. Like, the performances is stellar stuff. Stephen Merchant.
Yes, I'm interested in Stephen Merchant.
Stephen Merchant is. I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to talk about the character too much, but he plays the character very, very well.
Okay.
Richard E. Grant.
Yeah.
I thought he was pretty good. But it's the relative newcomer Daphne Keane who will knock your socks off as Laura. It's just a kind of a tiny. It's a shame that we didn't get a tiny bit more of Boyle Holbrook as Donald Pierce, but nonetheless, he is quite kind of imposing.
Okay.
He's kind of got that wild character to him, but it's not developed enough. But nonetheless, these are tiny, tiny gripes.
And he's like the henchman bad guy, is he?
Yeah. So, look, expect to get your socks knocked off in Logan quite a bit. You got to bring extra socks to the cinema. It's that fucking good. I don't think not since Hit Girl and Kick-Ass as a young character made such an impression. And at times, her performance is it's frighteningly good, but it's also terrifying. what she does,
Yeah.
and how she does it, and she's kind of got this guttural scream, which will really make the hairs on the back of your knees
If
stand
you've seen the
on
trailers, you know what this character can do.
Like, the action set pieces are grounded in brutal and blood-filled reality. There's nothing over the top here. It's just brutal. This is the real Wolverine in action here, and he's fucking terrifying. Genuinely, he is terrifying, because for anyone that knows the character, as Thomas said, there's a fucking lunatic, essentially. Like, so you would be afraid of this character in real life, and you are afraid of this character in the movie. Look, minor pacing gripes aside, this is brutally epic. It's a fitting swan song for Hugh Jackman and the character. It's just a shame that the rest of the Wolverine movies have not got this level of tone and intensity. Miss this at your peril, people. 5 stars. We were talking about this on the way down, that, you know, Deadpool kind of started this ball rolling in one sense, where, you know, R-rated or 15 or 18 rated movies are going to be a thing.
It's the 16s here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And fucking hell, I'm surprised it's not higher, to be honest, for Logan.
Same with Deadpool. I expected Deadpool to be 18s and only got a 16 rating.
But that to one side, it doesn't necessarily mean that all comic book movies from here on in have to take the high road, or the high rating road, or the low rating road, depending on what way you look at it. However, I think that Deadpool is one, made a ton of money. Logan is making a ton of money. Yeah. So is there going to be some other comic book movie now that's going to, oh fuck it, let's make this R-rated? I think there probably is. I'm not sure where or who.
Todd McFarlane has been talking about doing Spawn again.
Yeah. That might be a good one.
Yeah.
By the way, McFarlane does amazing live Facebook video.
Yeah.
Just to give Todd a shout out there, because I know he listens. But I think that the first R-rated, 16, 18 rated comic book movie that loses its balls on the money, that's the end.
Yeah.
That's the end. So, you know.
I was saying to Vic, I see it happening when they decide to put an R rating onto a character that doesn't need an R rating, rather than suit an R rating. Like, an R rated Spider-Man is going to lose money.
Yeah, it doesn't need it. Same like an R-rated Iron Man is going to lose money.
Or R-rated Superman.
Is there a character out there that you could argue R-rated of the current stuff that we've had out there? What was Spawn when that movie came out originally?
I think
15?
I think that was a 15,
Yeah.
maybe an 18. Like, that needs an R rating, but like Thor doesn't need R rating, Captain America doesn't need R rating, Punisher,
Yeah.
But if he ever goes back to the big
Ghost
screen,
Rider,
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, Ghost Rider kind of they need to ground that as well. I know it's about demons, but kind of put a slap of the old Wolverine polish on it. It's kind of make it over the top,
you know
but
what?
grounded at the same time.
Do you know what? And here's the thing: something like this is very good for comic book fans, because you'll essentially get a bunch of good movies out of it.
Opened up a new door,
and then there'll be a whole ton of shit. But then it goes back to Christopher Nolan. Everybody started Nolanizing their comic book movies.
Yeah.
Look at The Amazing Spider-Man #1. It just looked like fucking Batman. The color grade in it was Batman.
Yeah.
Dark and gritty doesn't work all the time. It works with Batman because the character envelops that. Wolverine or Logan envelops this type of movie. But there's a lot of comic book characters out there. Remember, when you go back in the day of comic books, the sole kind of target market was kids.
Yeah.
So the characters have always, you know, had this kind of childhood market. In one sense, obviously there are new comic book characters that have come on stream that are a bit more mature.
Yeah. And like that, the new target now at the moment is those kids grown up. So kind of the comics are getting more mature because they're growing with their audience.
Yeah, and I think Logan, the movies have grown with the audience in one sense. Either way, if you get an R rating on a movie in Hollywood, then it's almost like a death cert, because you're alienating your major demographic from a financial point of view. So it is a brave move for the studios to take this on.
But that didn't hurt Wolverine at all.
No, not at all. I mean,
75 million in America alone.
You know, and look at Deadpool.
Yeah, 700 million for an R-rated film.
You know, so...
Suicide Squad couldn't even touch that, and that was a PG-13.
Yeah, I mean, actually, maybe there's a Harley Quinn movie that would...
Yeah.
She's a bit fucking bonkers.
She's a bit bonkers, but she never struck me as, like, a violent character. No, a standalone Joker movie. Yes.
Without Jared
Without Jared
Leto.
Leto, yeah. Well,
Without Jared
well,
fucking Leto.
look, keep your hate for Jared Leto. We're going to talk about him later.
You know what? Like an R-rated Heath Ledger Joker movie would have been amazing.
R-rated. We mentioned R-rated Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? And I think if you're doing an R-rated Batman for a character that seemingly doesn't kill anybody, let's not go there. You're kind of pushing. You know, you don't want the character to be doing shit just to satisfy the rating.
Yeah, I'd see
the rating should satisfy the movie, not the movie satisfying the rating.
Yeah, I do see the way the DCEU is kind of it's very haphazard a feeling at the moment. I have a feeling that there's going to be a Warner Brothers executive going, oh look, Deadpool and Wolverine did well.
But here's the thing, right? And here's the thing. Okay, Wolverine and Deadpool, they're Fox, but they're still Marvel.
Yeah,
it's still Marvel. It's still Marvel.
Marvel are
characters.
getting a small chunk of that money.
Yeah, so, but I mean, like DC and Warren must be fucking hell. So they've got the kids tied up. Yeah. They've got the fucking adults tied up. What's left for us? Just the hardcore DC fanboys who must be getting pretty pissed off at this stage. With two of the biggest characters in the world not having a proper outing.
No.
Not since Christopher Nolan had Batman. Arguably not since Richard Donner had Superman. I still hold a little piece of love for Bryan Singer.
Yeah,
Superman Returns. I think it's really, really good. I think the Man of Steel movie grew on me. The more I've seen it, the better it gets. Yeah. The score is amazing in it. But
that's just Hans Zimmer, though.
It's just Hans Zimmer, yeah. Anyway, we're going to be talking about that Superman score momentarily. But before we do anything else and get to the movie news and some more copious swearing, it's time to unleash the first critically acclaimed screen actor performance of the year. Because we haven't been here, and he hasn't been here for so long.
I just realized this is going to take 50 minutes.
This is a pretty long one, and literally I haven't rehearsed this. We don't rehearse these at all, because Tom said to me before we started this, "Was this a bit long?" And I'm like, "We'll have a go." So
you said that to me many times.
I set him up and he knocks them down.
You're welcome.
Right, here we go.
A critically acclaimed screen actor quotes movies he hasn't started.
You are not in Kansas anymore. You are on Pandora, ladies and gentlemen. Respect the fact every second of every day. If there is a hell, you might want to go there for some R&R after a tour on Pandora. Out there, beyond that fence, every living thing that crawls, flies, or squats in the mud wants to kill you and eat your eyes for juju beans. We have an indigenous population of humanoids called the Na'vi. They are fond of arrows dipped in a neurotoxin that will stop your heart in 1 minute, and they have bones reinforced with naturally occurring carbon fiber. They are very hard to kill. As head of security, it is my job to keep you alive. I will not succeed. Not with all of you. If you wish to survive, you need to cultivate a strong mental aptitude. You got to obey the rules. Pandora rules.
Yeah, I don't think he would have taken over from Stephen Lang.
No, Stephen Lang owned that role.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Avatar 2 and 3.
Whenever
4
we
and 5 and 6 and 7, whenever Cameron gets it fucking done. But anyway, right, let's move on.
Get out of the ocean, Cameron, come on.
Let's move on. Tom mentioned some hate there for Jared Leto. I've been sitting on this for a while. So let's go there with some hate for Jared Leto. I don't like the guy as a person. I don't know him personally. He probably doesn't like me if he listens to the podcast. I just find him fucking annoying. I really find him annoying. There's political statements coming out of his ass anytime he's up on a stage. And now there's a Tron reboot.
Yeah.
And Jared Leto is wanted for a Tron reboot.
Yeah.
Two things. Why the fuck is there going to be a Tron reboot? And why the fuck are they looking for Jared Leto?
Yeah.
What role is Jared Leto going to play?
They want him for the lead, apparently. And so, this reboot, they're going Kaczynski's proposed Tron 3, Tron Ascension. They're taking the script and they're cherry picking ideas, picking and choosing what they want. And there was a character in it called Ares, who apparently was a key player in Tron Ascension, and that's who Leto's going to play. That's all we know at the moment. We don't know who's going to direct it, who else is going to star in it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they want Leto to lead the franchise, and we've all heard Vic. Sorry for touching you, Vic.
Don't touch me again, Tom.
We've all heard his point of view of Jared Leto, and I like Jared. Okay, that's a strong word. Jared Leto is a good actor.
Get out. Go on.
He's not leading man material. He's a character actor. He's a supporting player. He hasn't. His first movie.
Some people say, "Is he a poor man's Johnny Depp?"
Well, in some of the roles, maybe, yeah. He's growing into Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
He hasn't. His first movie since winning the Oscar for Dallas Buyers Club was Suicide Squad. And
all the DC fan mods going, "Fuck you! We got a fucking Oscar-winning movie."
Oh, you want it for makeup? Sorry.
We don't give a fuck, Tom. We've got a fucking Oscar.
It's like,
what the fuck have you got?
It's like winning the World Cup for participation.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's basically the Johnny Depp type actor. He plays these weird roles. Like we don't know who's going to play in Blade Runner 2049.
I don't fucking care.
He's going to play the female. He's going to play the male Pris.
I have no interest in this fucking Blade Runner movie.
Yeah, but like I'm just saying, Disney wanting Jared Leto to lead a franchise. I think they're overestimating Jared Leto and people's opinion of him, and he's not. He doesn't have the star. I don't think he has the star power to lead a franchise.
No.
I like. Here we could be talking prematurely, and this new Tron movie could be an ensemble piece, and he's only like one part of the cast. But yeah, I love the Tron movies. Absolutely love them.
Soundtrack is incredible.
Yeah,
too.
Fucking Rez.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what a song. But I'm gonna welcome a Tron movie with open arms. But Jared Leto is the lead star. Maybe not the right approach to it.
Here you go, Hollywood. That's him saying he's being politically correct about it.
How would Vic say that?
Fuck that. Okay, speaking of fuck that, Ryan Reynolds and yeah, what? Deadpool.
Okay, that's a segue, I assume.
There was rumors that there was going to be a kind of some Deadpool connection to Logan and the Wolverine movie.
Everybody wanted them to share a scene.
Yeah, there was, because if you've seen Deadpool, you know that Hugh Jackman had a pretty stiff cameo.
Yeah.
In that movie. Yeah. I mean, you could tear it up and throw it away.
Yeah.
But nonetheless. But then there was talks that there was going to be a teaser for Deadpool 2, and then it didn't turn up, and there's no post-credit sequence in Logan. There's not going to be. Mangola said, look, this is the end of the character. Yeah. Why would we be setting up anything else?
Yeah, he said those end credit sequences are ads for other movies. Mm-hmm.
So, Deadpool 2 is due out next year.
Yeah, I don't think it's written yet.
May 2018 is the date that's been kind of lambasted on it. And now, people, if you go to themoviebit.com, you can see the fucking teaser trailer for Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
Which is not coming, not often enough. Isn't that the tagline on it?
Not soon enough.
Or not soon enough, or whatever the fuck. Anyway, I think it's the first trailer I've ever seen, or the first teaser, that there's a cameo.
Yeah.
That there's a cameo.
There's a fucking cameo.
There's this amazing cameo. There's this amazing scene. And then
it's a minute long.
And then for all of you who like the ass, then there's Ryan Reynolds' ass spread up against a phone box.
Yep.
To the Superman theme.
Yeah, and
the John Williams Superman theme.
And this is not just 30 seconds. This is a full minute and a half.
They
paid a pretty penny for that.
You fucking look closely, you can see his ass probably streak up against that phone box. There is ass streaks on that phone box.
Yeah.
I've zoomed in.
I've seen your computer.
You wish you had.
Yeah, it's basically a short movie.
I am terrified of Deadpool 2. I know Ryan Reynolds knows the character. He embodies the character better than anybody ever could. It's kind of a lifer project for him. It's something he's always been doing and wanting to do. Tim Miller,
he's
great
the only
director.
Yeah. Well, Tim Miller's no longer involved.
Yeah, so he's gone.
Yeah.
Rhett Reese is kind of seems to be, back down the line when it comes to writing duties now. So I'm just kind of worried that all we want from Deadpool is more of the same.
Yeah.
And I think they kept a decent balancing act with the multiple characters like Colossus and stuff in the original movie.
Yeah.
Cable is I'm just worried that they're going to fuck it up. Because the original Deadpool movie is just so good.
Like the reason Miller left, the reason we're given is that he wanted to add a bigger budget to it, and Reynolds, kind of as executive producer, was going, no, let's keep us small.
Look, that's the Hollywood fucking bullshit. I just hope they don't screw it up because it's just a brilliant movie.
Yeah,
it is flawless.
And look, this little short we saw, kind of, they still have the tone down. Reynolds is still amazing in the role, so
yeah, like
there's hope there.
I think there's probably a web series of Deadpool vlogs.
Yeah,
just to keep the hype going for this thing. Do one Monday, once a month, once every 3 months, whatever it takes.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Not necessarily Ryan Reynolds scraping his asshole off of a phone booth, but
you can only do that once.
Yeah, and then it kind of gets old.
What if you turned around?
Then you would be all over it. Like, I can smell the phone booth from here. So yeah, check it out right now, themoviebit.com. It's not safe for work. It's not something the kids should see. So just be conscious of that.
Yeah.
Maybe have headphones on.
It has a great soundtrack. One song, but it's great.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It truly is. So hopefully Deadpool 2 kind of,
don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up, Reynolds. Don't fuck it up. We'll come to your house and get arrested. Yeah, no, we won't come to your house.
We'll be arrested the minute we set foot in America. Or is he Canada?
Trump probably listens to us, so he's good with us. It's
the
right.
best podcast.
Yeah, so that's it. Speaking of best podcasts,
you'll probably get our news from us.
That's why the world is fucked, Tom. So that's it for us. We are going to wrap up the podcast now. Within the next 24 hours, we may be privileged to see something that we will not be allowed to talk about. Yeah. I don't even think that we can talk about what we may see. I don't think we're going to see anything, but all I know is that we're going someplace tomorrow to be shown things, unspeakable things that you would all want to see, but we may be the only ones to see it.
I know what I'm going to. I'm still scared.
Yeah, so that's it. We can say no more.
Yeah.
We can say no more.
Because we're teasers like that.
Well, we're teasers, but we can't say no more because I know there's going to be a shit ton of NDAs.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
We're going to be writing for weeks.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we got time for, folks.
Can I bring a stamp?
Yes, you can. Just one of those big Crayola stamps that you have. So that's it, guys. Thank you. What?
I just realized you insulted me.
Fucking hell, it don't take you long, does it? Like 5 minutes. Say, oh, you mother.
I'd be in the car, just slap you across the head.
So, yeah, that's all we got time for. We would love if you would subscribe to this podcast. It is good to be back to the normal swing of things. Tom misses it because we haven't done it so long. This time next week or 2 weeks, Tom won't have missed this. He'll just have fucking hate it. Yeah.
Who is this guy sitting beside me?
So that's it. Subscribe. We would love if you would subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button on whatever podcast app that you have. Find us in any of the podcast stores and podcast apps, of course. Search for The Movie Bit and you will find the link on the articles and, of course, directly on the website as well, where you can get all of our back episodes, including a ton of interviews from everybody from Howard Shore, the award-winning composer, to Colin Farrell, to the co-founder of Pixar. Everybody who's anybody is there. So subscribe. You get all of that stuff for free. And then, of course, when we have a new episode, which will be next week, we go back to our normal Monday broadcast schedule, then you get that as well. So there you go. And if you do have any questions or observations or hate, then email podcast@themoviebit.com or hit us up on Twitter @themoviebit, or look, if you can stop creeping on ex-girlfriends and fucking strangers on Facebook, then you can find us on Facebook as well. TheMovieBit.com. Yeah, there you go. So that's it, people. Thanks for listening. We will talk to you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
The MovieBit.com podcasts. Available on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, direct download, and streaming on TheMovieBit.com. Streaming and creaming. Yeah.